breakfast. Good morning, Professor Camacho. Happy on 1st of July to each and one of our classmates and to the professor as well. Amen. So, the topic that I choose is the areas of developmental psychology. And this topic that I choose is the topic that I like and the topic that I want to learn much more from. Excuse me from not having to come on to the fact that it's complicated. I'm doing this and presenting on this my side show with my face show because it requires a lot. So I don't want to do that, but I'm happy to show my presentation with each and one of you. Hope you guys enjoy and hope you guys find the information quite useful, amen. So I put the picture, I put the pyramid. It starts from infancy to early childhood to adolescence to young adult to adult and to maturity. Developmental psychology. Let's continue, man. So the question you guys may be asking is that what is developmental psychology? And developmental psychology is the study of human beings and how they grow and change in the lifespan. Started at first at birth all the way to late adulthood or to advanced age like the elderly. Here I'll use three unique articles that gives good information regarding the mental psychology, how the study is still used to do research on lifespan on human beings and the cycle of life. So the picture on the right side, you see the mental psychology, and you see a girl that starts from infancy to a child to a school age girl to a high schooler and to a young adult or college educated and so forth and so forth. So this study is very much useful and for me quite I like regarding how we develop as human beings. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Why I choose this topic and its importance. You know what I'm saying? So the reason I choose this topic is importance is that because developmental psychology starts at infancy to early age and then the cycle of life. I found this course of study to be interesting and the fact that it shows how us human beings or humans develop and how we go over time. So here's an example of young children doing different activities in a classroom with the living theory to show and describe in action. So example can be the social learning theory, social cultural theory, cognitive development, and attachment theory. It's pretty much more on the picture on the right side you guys may see. It upon theories that begin with when a child enters kindergarten or preschool. You know what I'm saying? How they develop relationships with each other as well as interactions like from the teacher or from the parent, how to behave in school versus how to behave outside of school would be the home and yeah, interact in the environment. So the picture you see on the right shows the child development theories, how the child develop over time. You know what I'm saying? Start first at birth to be the idea of the idea that could be innate, but we'll get to it in the next slide. So the topic that I choose first is called empathy sharing 1. So the first article I want to bring up is called Empathy and Equal Sharing, Perspective from Phenomenology and Developmental Psychology by Dan Savy and Felipe Rochet. So this article talks about the virtue of sharing and how since birth we like it to have that innate idea that we know or have the instinct to share. So let's say for example the idea of empathy or how this term is important in the field of 1. Cognitive science, or 2. Social neuroscience, 3. Nursing, 4. Developmental psychology, and 5. Philosophy. The virtue of empathy goes a long way because even though children experience feeling sad or having shared emotions with his or friend, it shows that at early age we have the trait of empathy and not much sympathy. And to me, this is important because no individual cannot be born without empathy. For me, that's impossible. If that would happen, that person could be heartless or a monster. But for me, I'll believe that because it's due to the environmental factors. So the article as went on to give a basic definition of what it means to have empathy. According to the article, the idea of the empathy is a process whereby one individual comes to share another's individual affective experience. So that quote shows that even when we don't experience the problem, but have an increased strong emotion of that problem. You know what I'm saying? One German psychologist named Theodor Rips also gives another definition of empathy. There is one, knowledge of external things, two, self-knowledge, and three, knowledge of others. And from my understanding, I can see that the feeling of empathy, even if it's a learned trait, is well as an innate feeling with us in all humanity. Because there are people or individuals who can be self-centered and adapted to the world around them. Also gives reasons that individual is aware of things going around him or her perspective. So even though the individual may be self-centered, but at the end of the day, she or he still experience empathy, because that's an ideal characteristic that is inside of us all, because we are all connected by human being, despite the cultural, gender, or social differences. We all share a common role that we're all human. So that's, to me, that's something very important. And the example that I choose is except of empathy is in the picture on the right side. You see a little girl helping her friend. So I don't know why her friends think sad, but she feels empathy because she knows that she's going through a tough time, and I don't know what the kid be going through. Maybe the kid maybe has hard day at school. Maybe the teacher didn't believe him because maybe he started some problem even though he didn't, or maybe he didn't get things his way. All factors. For me, I don't know the factors, but like the parent said, like she have empathy for a friend. It could be her brother. We don't know, but we gotta make assumptions about we can make assumptions that's true, but the thing that's important is that she has empathy to help her friend in a time of the time that it's difficult. And the right, because see in the left side is the show that we all correlate to is friends. And I choose this picture because in that picture you see Phoebe, Rachel, Chandler, you see Ross, and you see Joey come from Monica. I believe that I don't remember what season was this taken, but I feel like there's I think believe season 3, season 4 is that Monica lost her job as a head chef from a restaurant. So I don't know. I forgot what episode was that, but she lost her job, and so her friends feel empathy for her and confront her because she was feeling sad that she lost one of the best jobs that she worked for, because she was the head chef. She had to cook good food. But X Y Z happened in the episode, and she got let go, got laid off from this job, and this shows that her friends care about her and care about her well-being, because she at this moment she's going to a really tough time because she don't have now appointment. So now she gotta apply for appointment again, and since the show was taken in 1990s, appointment back then was difficult because make an application is not application that we use today. The application we use could be digital or PDF, but for her in her case, you gotta do it with pen and paper, which is more difficult because I was born in the 90s. I was born 1999, but that's different at the time. But like I said, she go through a tough time. Her friends comfort her because she has one of the best jobs she worked for as a head chef, and it's sad. But like I said, it shows that her friends has empathy for her in a moment of need. And it's something that we all need to have, because even though they all have different personalities, different traits, and different characteristics, but one thing they share in common is that they're all human, and that's something that relates. That's something that they relate to one another and they show empathy. So this is good connection to the text of the first text that I choose in regards to how we develop as humans and how it matches from the root of the developmental psychology. So yeah. So empathy sharing too. So it's a typo, my mistake, but it says that example show before shows an important factor in the role of empathy and in the mental psychology in general. According to the text, as children start manifesting an equal stance between the age of 3 and 5, they'll expand the experience and being part of the larger we by being sensitive to group affiliation and its necessary counterparts. So in other words, at this young age, children explore who they are, their own identity, and the interaction of themselves versus others around them. While there is a difference between the age gap, by example used is as an example to show how from childhood children wanted to form a bond and nurture friendships with others. And why, yes, children's minds are not much developed, but the process of growing and continuing growing as they continue to develop. So the other thing I want to highlight is that friendship and relationship we have now, the reason that is strong or more meaningful is that at the age of young adolescence to young adulthood, the friendship and relationship is important at the stage of life. You know what I'm saying? Because we value the company of those we form a bond with. How from childhood, it was the first step of how we want to form that bond. And sometimes pressure can make it into the child's adulthood. So let's say that the example I used before is that let's say that one student that start first grade met a another first grader and few years later they become best friends. Even after they go to separate ways to go to different high schools or go to different colleges, they still maintain the friendship even after the academic or parts of the life. And for me that has happened because there's people that could make it that long, especially for Asia. Let's say that a middle schooler has a girlfriend or boyfriend from by the time that he or she is a sixth grader, and they become together for until college or separate from the time because sometimes relationship can be on off, meaning different people, etc. But the reason that they have a good they love each other, and from there they can get married, and that's pretty much that's how life is. You know what I'm saying? But that can happen. People don't believe that, but that can happen. One thing I want to highlight is that I showed the example of where the girl comforted her friend as she feels empathy, while even knowing how it relates to the TV show Friends, where the characters are young adults who are very good friends. They also comforted that film Monica of this episode lost her chef job. And this is a connection between these two examples because the key password is empathy, and how empathy was shown in these two photos. So the feeling of empathy is a human emotion that exists in the mind because something innate that we all human beings are born with. So this is something very important and something that relates to us. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all human. We do make mistakes. That's true. But we all have emotions and feelings, which is very important. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. An example of when show empathy, children to adolescents to young adult. So you guys see on the right side of on my screen, you see kids showing empathy for a friend. I think a friend is feeling sad for numerous of reasons. Maybe a friend's feeling sad, and maybe she lost maybe her toy, or maybe the teacher was hard on her, or all factors. We don't know, but we could make assumptions. But the key idea is that friends show empathy, and maybe these students these children could be first to second grade. I don't know what grade these kids are in, but the key like I said, the key password is empathy, and now her friends show empathy for her as she's going through a tough time in the moment of need. Same thing for the picture you see on the left side. The picture on the left side, maybe you see a group of friends showing empathy for a friend. Maybe she has a headache, or maybe she's feeling sad, or three factors. And in the picture, the guys they look like they are college students, or maybe high school, or maybe they know each other from some club, or maybe they know each other from a workplace. So they show like I said, they show empathy. So she thinks sad, both of them think sad, her friends comfort her. But like I say, but the one thing I want everyone to know is that it's about this. I want guys to know is that um, empathy can start from children to young adolescents to young adult. So, like I said before, the idea that is innate is that it start first from childhood to adolescence to young adult and to adult and beyond that. So it shows that from the time that we were born, we have or learn the idea of empathy. Well, the kids don't realize that. By the time as they get older, they will realize the empathy. They show empathy to the friend in the relationships they build along the way. So even though they don't know it, but they show it by the actions. And the picture you see the left is the same thing. Cause both shows the same key topic, that's empathy. You know what I'm saying? Because it starts first from young children to young adults. So for me, that's something very amazing in how it relates to developmental psychology in humans. So how we start from birth and how we rise up to teenagers and to young adults and beyond. So something that is very incredible, something that is very amazing for me personally to learn and for me to realize that I'm like, oh my gosh, and wow, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. And the next article that I choose that I find interesting is called a Maslow Organized Contribution to Developmental Psychology, written by Andrew M. Bland and Eugene de Robertis, who gives a clear example of the contribution to Maslow as concerning self-actualization, which also part of his period, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, of which Maslow took the idea of self-isolation from another humanistic psychiatrist named Goldstein. I don't know his first name because the guy they put over there, the author they put over there for no apparent reason. But like I said, I used the information that's given to me. So let's continue. So about Maslow, one of the father with the idea of self-actualization and put his own thoughts and how this as concept is important for developmental psychology and for the human race as well. So going back to the text, a quote from the text says this Maslow further included overcoming obstacles, real and perceived, and living indignantly despite one's personal, environmental, and historical shortcomings as functions of healthy development. And I want to go a little further, explaining the idea that Maslow is saying that in order to have self-actualization, an individual must be truthful to oneself despite the outcomes of life. And also is saying that outcomes are nothing but temporary, which we can overcome it, which are part of healthy development. So yeah. So his idea is that of Charles Darwin, who believes in the quote survival of the fittest, but this term is changed due to laws of nature versus nurture, which is a common term to describe how people would be if they are raised in a nature environment or nurture environment. And this is somewhat difficult to say depending on the individual and how he or she is raised. But it also is had to deal with resilience. Because I believe what Marcel was getting at is the idea is that human beings will tend to have a fixed mindset and not a growth mindset, which is why those who see obstacles prefer to go back away from it and not embrace it, which is why some people have the mindset of fixed because they believe that they are not in a situation, but they don't want to embrace the situation, which is what Marcel was getting at. So another quote is like Erickson. He argued that healthy children enjoy growing and moving forward, gaining new skills capacities and powers that involve into in selfhood. What one really wants and doesn't want. What wants one is fit for and one is not fit for. So now this code is quite confusing, but I believe what Maslow was getting at is that every child is different. Even twin siblings do not think the same. And while it may be true that we are all built different, but each individual has their own personalities, wants, and needs. In society, and to embrace their own individuality and what is best suited for them, considering their desires and dreams and what they want to accomplish in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it also goes with the idea of the five pillars of the ecological system. So I don't know if you guys took counseling 150, but the thing that is important for developmental psychology in human beings is the idea of macrosystem, exosystem, mesosystem, and microsystem. You know what I'm saying? A corner system, which is the five pillars that is important to how we develop as individuals and how we share different ideas with different people, how we interact with different people. You know what I'm saying? So let me read the side before I get into more to detail on what I mean by that. So before going forward, just like Maslow has mentioned, every child is built different, think different, have their own capacities, which is true and not a bad thing. But also that children, especially coming from broken homes, are more likely to have a growth mindset as well as resilience to be successful in life. And this may or not be true to all boys and girls, but the environmental factors plays a role in a child's development if they can reach self-actualization despite the corner system, mesosystem, axis system, macro system, and microsystem. I know those terms is a bit hard to pronounce because it all has the system in it. But what Maslow is trying to get at is that despite the culture or how the education or social status or how like the fact or the gender or race will all have wants and needs in individuality. And one thing I want to highlight is that it's important for human development because I'm not explain it, but all of us are built different. We all come from different homes. We all come from different social class. But one thing that we overcome is that we're all human. We all make mistakes, despite that negative around the child. The factors, even the factors may unexplained it, but it will not put the child down. So if a child is raised in a bad neighborhood or come from a broken, dysfunctional home, he or she have resilience to become somebody that wants to do something right. Because I don't know if you guys hear the saying that make something yourself, which all of us has heard about that. Because for me personally, and not for my experience, but for anybody, even though we come from different homes, but we have the mindset that's growth. So despite what is going on around us, we can achieve and be somebody and what want to be. So like example is that this let's say that boy come from a broken home. He come from a poor family and then have a mom or dad to love him. Maybe his mom is doing drugs, maybe his dad is in prison, or maybe he's dead. We don't know. That's an assumption. But he stays strong, stay focused on his studies, want to be have a good career and make something of himself. Went beyond to go to the best university of New York City or best university of all of the states. So despite the five pillars, yeah, anybody, any child can achieve, and that's where self-actualization come in. When we achieve something, or getting our degree or getting a good job that can be a good career, we have a self-actualization that anything is possible despite the limitations and discrimination of our race or culture, anything is possible. Even though my explanation is not quite perfect, but what I'm getting at is that despite different cultures, despite how the media portrays us, or the people and how they judge some people judge a book by its cover, it also depends on success as well. That's what I'm gonna say, but like I said, nothing's impossible. If the child comes from a broken home, despite the macro, meso, exo, and macro, he or she can achieve despite the limitations at the resources around him. Resources may be limited, but he or she stays strong, stay resilient, then it's possible. So to continue, one back to text, Baxter talks about a very important case that has affected parenting and the safety and well-being of a child. And this is something is important to this society because countless times on the news talks of the case of infants being killed or murdered by the caregivers, which is something horrible and as well sad. So Maslow has stated safety needs is security, stability, dependency, protection, freedom from fear, anxiety, and chaos, need for structure, order, law, and limits. When a parent doesn't show love, attachment, and safety to his child, the child will grow up with factors that is negative and will grow up to be somebody terrible due to not having the love and support from a parent. The reason Marcel is saying this is because it affects the cognitive and neurodevelopment of the child, which can lead to aggression, to aggressive emotions, and hostility in later life, which can hurt and break relationships from family, friends, and even romantic partners, because the life they have before as children, no matter the cultural race of an individual. So the experience that a child may have cause trauma or cause PTSD of numerous factors coming from broken homes, maybe got sexually abused, or something that is very seen on the news often, is something that X, Y, and Z could happen, could cause conflict, and from there will lead to bad mental health state of well-being. So when a child grow up in the type of environment is toxic, it can either give the child a fixed mindset, which is that they're not gonna reach what they want to reach despite the obstacles, or it will give the child a growth mindset, of which they can embrace the situation and continue ongoing until they reach the period of self actualization. Now this is something very complicated, but I don't get into too much into details because time is running. So I want to continue. So let's go. And this is the last side of the second article, Maslow's hierarchy of needs and five resilience factors. We will be parental resilience, social connection, knowledge of parental child development, and etc. And Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which I put a picture, was something that is a pyramid from psychological needs, the safety needs, to love and belonging, esteem, to self-actualization. Self-actualization can be different from can vary from individual to individual, despite in the stage of where that individual may be at. So let's say that is a 18-year-old high school graduate from college. By the time he or she is 24 with a bachelor's degree, he or she feels like she did something that she achieved something that she wanted while getting a good job or good career. So it can start from an early age or to an old age, but depending, like I said, depending on the stage of where that individual may be at. So it varies from person to person. So for example, for me on John Jay, a friend of mine who is 20, is a freshman, and by the time he's 24, he's still young, a young man, but by the time he's 24, he feels like he did something amazing that he achieved and earned his bachelor's in whatever field or major he wants. Would be forensic psychology or criminal justice, whatever the case may be. Like I said, like it depends. It varies from individual to individual, but I believe the Mark Master Archimedes is a good picture and a good pyramid for us to reflect on, despite that different stage of where we may be at, because we're all human, and it's something that for me is important to or is an important factor of human development of psychology. So for me, it's something I want to highlight. So the last article that I choose is kindness. Perspective from for developmental psychology. I put the emphasis of articles really last after finish. The last article that saved for the best for last is kindness. A perspective from developmental psychology by Tina Matty, which shows over how the virtue of kindness is rooted in all human beings, from the way we develop as children to as we grow as adults, expressing kindness. Just like empathy sharing from the first article, this article shows that kindness is the innate trait that each of us is born with, just like the innate idea of God. Same with kindness as well. Being kind serves as an important pillar in developmental psychology, how we learn to talk, to walk, to eat, and think as we grow older. We have this trait in us to do kindness in any way we can, just like donating to charity, opening the door for someone, donating blood, volunteering at a soup kitchen, and simply say, hope you have a good day, or good morning, or good afternoon, hope all is well. That's good phrases that a person, individual may need if he or she goes to the bad day. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. So I believe that this article is important because it talks over the case of innateness, which is the idea of a characteristic which human beings are born with. It says kindness is considered a virtue and integral part of ethics. In philosophy, kindness has been characterized as genuine, deep concern for others. I believe that kindness is the most important, effective way to treat others with much support, because it's true to give respect, but it's more than that. It's something that can make an individual feels good and wanted. It makes the individual feel loved and having a sense of belonging. It goes beyond the idea to just volunteer by doing it from the heart and goodwill, despite not receiving nothing in return or getting respect in return, but do it out of goodwill. But not all people will be nasty or ungrateful. Sometimes due to their hardship or struggles is another reason why they be like that. But not because they don't appreciate the kind individual, because due to the circumstances in their lives. So let's continue. Kindness does go a long way as well, because it's the feeling that can't get old and will never ever get old. Because when being kind to any individual who may be just having a bad day will give them hope that there is always a brighter tomorrow. Example can be What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong, which says in the lyrics, I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? They are really saying, I love you. Even though it might sound corny, but it's the reality of what he said. Because kindness is something that can bring a bright hope for a new tomorrow. Even doing small tasks can make an individual feel good and feel like there's hope. Kindness goes a long way to even help individuals who are from the LGBT community or from different race or culture. Even though we all have different beliefs, foods, customs, and languages and norms, we all can be kind to each other. We always can be kind to each other. Why? Because at the end of the day, we're all human. While we're not perfect, but it's the thought that counts. And what I mean by that is that being kind is something that is rooted in each and one of us. Because one thing that a lot of people don't realize in today's society is that they tend to discriminate and they tend to have a bias against certain culture or people. Because what the culture of the people see in the news. And what we see in the news is sometimes always negative because they don't show kindness. What the news shows is always death, murder, kill, drug, etc., etc. And they'll show the good things that people have done in the community. Simply for one example could be our Georgia community, Our community consists of different individuals from different cultures, backgrounds, etc. And we all John Jay, our college is a college of justice, where any student, despite the hardship, despite the social class, despite the culture, can have a right, injustice, fair education, and that's what kindness goes in. Because kindness is part of the mental psychology, and it's important that we have kindness for one another because we tend to discriminate and have bias against some people or individual or individual based on their culture or based on what they believed in. But like I said, at the end of the day, we're all human. We all make mistakes, but kindness does go a long way. So let's continue. An example can be of actions to show kindness and ways to express it. So on the picture on the left side, you see a homeless man in the cold weather says a lot kindness means a lot in the sign of the box. And this picture was taken in New York City. I don't know who took it. I don't know when it was took. I believe it was took this year or last year. We don't know. I just make assumptions. But this picture is important because the picture I choose is based in New York City. Because New York City, we we got care about each other as New Yorkers. Because we came to New York for a better dream, to achieve the American dream. But there's some limitations, that some obstacles and challenges that we don't reach it because, like I said, due to macro, external, meso, external, exo, and etc. etc. But the picture on the right side, you see a group of friends says free hugs, and it shows that kindness does go a long way because even though this picture was taken maybe during this year or last year, but they're hugging. It shows love for each other because kindness does go a long way. It's something that we must continue to remember and have because for us as humans, we do make mistakes, but for the thing that we must know is to better ourselves every day, which is my next point. This is the last point because I know that I'm running out of time and I want make talk as the best of my abilities. So this is the last point. I truly like this article about kindness and how some people on so many levels, my bad, it shows the reality of we living in today. Despite this being a long, informative article, I will mention some important factors on this article, how this article serves as a basis that we can be better people. In other words, we are better people, but could do more in helping our fellow New Yorkers to have a good day, or to any individual. Why, yes, we have to use caution due to some individuals suffering from mental health, which you see over and over again in New York City. But just a little action can brighten up a person's day. And to me, this article reconnects with the developmental psychology and how from birth to adulthood we have this idea, this beautiful trait, this innate trait of being kind, showing it with actions, words, and to express it, doing it out of goodwill. The takeaway that is important is that from this text, which states this, feeling for another means that an individual understands and to some degree shares the pain, the suffering of another. Compassion also refers to a warm understanding and appreciation of ourselves when we suffer or fail. I truly relate to this quote because there are times where I'm struggling and days where I've been down, but with just positive words from a friend or just a hug, really goes a long way. Because sometimes humanity have many needs, which like I mentioned, Maslow needs as one example, regarding food, shelter, money, all the extra factors. But sometimes what individual needs is just a big hug that relieves them of any burden that hurt them mentally or emotionally, but also to relieve anger, hostility, resentment, and any emotion that's making them feel down or depressed. Because one thing to remember is that we all go through life. We all go through hardship, pain, and obstacles, and the factors that can make us feel down. And what we need is just one big hug of attachment and care for somebody who knows what an individual may go through, and just feeling relief of all the pain that's hurting that individual. We're all human beings who do fail and make mistakes, but we do have love. We do have a heart and feelings. We have emotions. Kindness goes a long way. It is a cure that can relieve pain and negative emotions we experience in life or on a day-to-day basis. Kindness is key. I want the takeaway. I want you guys to remember is that even though we may have bias, even though we may have bias against some culture or some individual, one thing to remember is we're all human. We'll all go through hardship. Even though we may not support some belief system, but it's a hug or or doing action or saying positive words or have attentive listening to a friend, it really does go a long way because there are people that suffer from mental health and depression and other still factors. And knowing people that's homeless, people that who is from the LGBT community or from poverty have obstacles and feel pain that they feel like they're not gonna make in life. Sometimes being a good friend or being a good peer goes a long way. Just by giving them a hug to embrace them with all love, with all joy, can really go a long way. It's something to me that's amazing. And this article is really something that really give me a good reflection. And I know I'm running out of time, but one thing I want guys to know is that this article is something that I recommend that everyone should read. And this article is I definitely recommend that they should post it on the news because kindness does go a long way. We need to put aside all deception or malice, MAMALICE, about all negative feelings or bias, and hug anybody in need. Cause even in the end of the day, even though we're not perfect, but we're all human. We all feel. We all have emotions, and it's something that really give me some positive really impact me personally. Not because of not because this class, not because of this class I'm taking, but because it really impact me as an individual, as a person that knows, a young man that feels the pain of other people, have empathy. It's something that for me is amazing. But I'm not gonna talk to it, amen. An example, I chose a friendship and kindness. So I don't know if you guys remember. This is a show that I used to watch when I was like a little kid called 16. And this show taught me so much about life and how these six teenagers, 16 years old, have each other's backs despite the pain, despite the challenges, despite the ups and downs that they may have in life. But the friendship that they have goes a long way. And this relates to the developmental psychology and how we make friends as kids. Even though we make friends as kids, it's not the same how we make friends as adolescents, but it's the ways that we learn how to make them, how to develop relationships with other people that we consider our friend. And the picture upon the side is a group of volunteers cleaning up from a park. I don't know the park, but maybe this park could be in New York, or could be upstate, or could be Long Island, or could be in I forgot New Jersey. We don't know, but they are volunteering to clean up the park. They don't have to do it, but they do it with much love. They do it with love, and they do it with a good heart. They're doing it with goodwill. But the show on the left side is a show that I highly recommend you guys watching. Because you know we're all in our 20s, but there's some things that show talks about that still exist today. Regarding how we make friends, how we make relative relationships, etc. But the show is it's old show, but the show goes a long way. It's a classic. The show is called 16. You put the number 6 and put teen together, and the show is right there. Good show, one of the best. I like it. Highly make it guys watch it. And yeah, let's continue. So conclusion. The articles that are important concerning human development and how we start at birth to adulthood. They meet all factors as important for its presentation, but I did my best to incorporate my knowledge on this topic, which I found very interesting. What we learn at birth is the innate idea of what we were born with. 1. Empathy. 2. Self-actualization. And 3. Kindness are very important contributions to this topic is something that is formative concerning how we develop. Not individual is born with a bad heart, but the environmental factors around him or her. Like I mentioned, macro, meso, chrono, micro, and I forgot the fifth one, but it will come back to me. But how those the environment around him or her affect his whole development, which is why people who commit crimes they commit crimes because not because they want to, because they have a bad life, which is could be one factor, but it's case from that time because it has to do with psychology and such etc. But I don't want to give much into that. I want to stay on topic. So let's continue. But we as human beings are striving to be better people every day to show kindness, to show, to show, to show kindness, to show a worth, to have worth. I made a typo, but I will fix that later. And having empathy, which of the factors that's important for human development. I believe that we can do better things, help many people, and make a change. A change doesn't have to be something big. It's not what the quality that matters, but the quantity that does. We can make a change to help people, not doing it with a small heart, but with a big heart, which comes from goodwill. And this is the key to be a good person. I want you guys this conclusion is what is my own words and what I believe in what belief in my presentation and what belief from the three articles. See, I know each one of you may have different ideas or different ways of interpreting the article and what you guys believe. But like I said, we all have, it's my perspective, it's my opinion. So you guys may agree on what I said in the presentation or don't agree. I'm okay with it, but something I believe in. So let's continue. So this is the article that I put article references. I put in a piece. I put I put a format this in AP style, starting from an alphabet order. So I put B, then M, then Z. These are the articles that are used from this presentation. So you guys want to learn more about learn or read about these articles. Feel free to see these articles, Maslow, Acknowledged Contribution to Development Psychology, or Kindness, Perspective from Development Psychology, and Empathy, Not Equal Sharing, Perspective from Phrenology, and Developmental Psychology. So take a screenshot of this, you guys. One, to read more about this interesting articles, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm done with my presentation. And okay, so and I put two videos by Jewish Love by Jeanette McCurdy, and I put Stand By Me by Prince Royce, because these two music videos really goes a long way, because Stand By Me shows that you guys know Stand By Me is sticking together despite the odds of the obstacles, challenges that we may have. We always stand by each other, because the song goes, "When the night is come and land is dark." You guys know the song, and Just Love says that we could be a better generation. That starts from us. It starts from those behind us. It starts from those that is coming after us. But we are change. I'm a change. You can change. We can change. So these two music videos is the one that really have an impact on me. It has impact as well as a topic. The romantic psychology, because it really does go a long way to show kindness, to show empathy, show civilization, show all the factors of what makes us human and how we can go together as a people, as a community. We don't have to. We could be individual. That's true. That's not a bad thing. But having a common ground is something to me that is very impressive. But that's the end of my presentation. I hope all you guys enjoy my presentation. Hope you guys like my presentation. These videos by Jerry Sharp by Jet McCurdy. And put you guys listen to some Please Roll Stand By Me. Please do this music. I know you guys heard this music before, but hearing it again, especially through this time of summer, of friendship, of family, something that we value. Especially the time that life is precious. Continue to stay strong. Continue studying. Continue reaching new heights, and it is possible. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys soon in class. Thank you, Professor Camacho, and thank you to all. Happy 4th of July, and see you guys soon.